I'll just go into begin. Here's my robot data, and I'll open the Typedef. Okay. I'm going to create two Typedefs and put them inside here. The first one, I'll just create an empty cluster. I'll just put a Boolean in there. And then I'm going to even go as far as to call this Bob's Typedef. Edit it, turn it into a Typedef by choosing Customize Control, changing it into a Typedef, and saving it right into the project, and even calling it Bob's Typedef. And when we close this, it asks us if we want to replace the original control with Bob's Typedef. Yes, so here it is. Here's Bob's Typedef. So Bob's Typedef goes in Robot Bob's Typedef goes in Robot Data. And you do the same thing. In fact, you can even open up Bob's Typedef. If you have the mouse skills, you open it up. We'll do a save as. Open an additional copy and call it Mary's Typedef. And put that in there as well. So now what happens is Bob goes off and does a bunch of stuff, and Bob edits Bob's Typedef. He puts a numeric in there, he puts a string in there, he even changes the way it looks. And that goes in, and that's fine. But Mary's Typedef has been left alone. And robot data.control hasn't technically changed. What happens is you get together, and by committee you take robot data and you add Bob's Typedef, Mary's Typedef, or you call it speed Typedef, pen tilt Typedef, whatever you want to call it. Split it off, you create those Typedefs while you're all sitting together, and then you duplicate the hierarchy and you give it away to everybody. Yes, sir?
Could you use, for instance, write a code or reading in the main Typedef and put it in the Bob?
You could, but
you wouldn't want to.
You probably wouldn't want to. I mean, you can put whatever you want in these, but the reality is that all of robot data is available in all the sub-VIs. So the only things that really, what's likely to be the case is these individual Typedefs that people own are going to just hold data. Things like that shut-off time, other important stuff like that. And so the key point here is Bob goes off at Bob's Typedef, Mary goes off at Mary's Typedef. When you all get together, you're very careful, and you've kept on paper a list of what you've changed. And you get together, and Bob says, okay, if it's just Bob and Mary, Bob opens up his project and says, okay, Mary, give me your USB key. And all you do is you replace Mary's Typedef in Windows. And you be very careful to replace only the things that Bob didn't change. So Mary probably changed Mary's sub-VI and Mary's Typedef. You put them in, you open up the project again, and it should just be incorporated. Okay? Still, you have to be extremely careful because it is so easy to add something to robot data and not just the Typedef, not just Bob or Mary's Typedef, and in the end, you're going to end up with collisions. Okay? Any questions about that? Same thing for sub-VIs. If Bob and Mary are working on this part and that part, they work on those sub-VIs the way that you originally create those sub-VIs together. Right? Bob and Mary sit together and say, okay, I want the sub-VI, I want it to be here. Mary's sub-VI goes here, and so that, again, everything is done together by committee, and then that directory is zipped up and handed to both people. And then when they come back together, they choose who's going to be the master, and the other person gives their sub-VIs and they replace them. And everything should just work. And so I already demonstrated that approach of doing the backup by zipping up the entire project directory. But first, opening the Files tab and checking that that's really where everything is. And the last thing I would suggest from this point of view is this approach of zipping actually makes very small files. You see the size of the zip that I created that was about 400 or 500 KB? It was really quite small. As a LabVIEW programmer working on big jobs where I'm getting paid to do it, I take a backup every hour at least, and I find it's very quick. I just go to the directory, right-click, save to zip, give it a time, date, stamp in the file name, and wait 30 seconds, and then, sometimes my backups are 105 megs. But still, it's all there and I can easily step back. All right. Any other questions about this? I think that, especially for those of you where there's more than one person sitting here, for you and you, I think that this approach is really important. And I don't know if you've already found some problems, but it's very easy to find some problems. I know our team sure did.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Remember that these introductory videos are intended to get your feet wet and get you introduced to LabVIEW. There's lots to learn about LabVIEW, and we're very proud of the lvmastery.com online learning experience. We've had a lot of great feedback from other FIRST team members and other high school students who have taken the training. I'd also like to mention the Buy One, Give One special offer for mentors, teachers, and parents associated with FIRST teams. We're allowing anyone who's associated with the FIRST team to purchase the LV Mastery online training for the academic price of $500 for all 3 courses. And for anyone who takes us up on that offer, we'll donate a training seat to a member of their team as well. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Ben Zimmer from lvmastery.com. Bye for now.